6 Cubans detained locally could soon call Panama home. Ahead tonight, more on the discussions between Bahamian and Panamanian foreign officials. And coming up in sports, a huge turnout for this year's Marathon Bahamas. We've got the highlights. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Everyday.
The Panamanian government is now considering a proposal from the Bahamas for the transfer of 6 Cuban nationals. Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Bahamas Tonight. Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell has been standing in the gap in the international community for 6 Cuban migrants who've been detained at the Camaica Detention Center since early last year. They were apparently interdicted on the high seas by U.S. officials who believe they were involved in assisting people attempting to enter the United States illegally. Minister Mitchell tells ZNS News that since that time, the group has been determined to be in a no-man's land because they're not wanted in the United States, where they previously enjoyed permanent residency. Also, 2 of the 6 migrants remain at Her Majesty's prison because they are considered a security threat and are not eligible for asylum in this country, nor are they wanted back in their hometown.
We have to find some place for them to go. And one of the issues I raised with the Panamanian foreign minister is whether Panama would be willing in the circumstances to take the 6 people, assuming those 6 people agree to move on to Panama. And we of course have to work in conjunction with the International Organization for Migration and also the United Nations Human Rights Commission. And they will determine the voluntariness or otherwise of the move to Panama if that ensues.
Panama's government previously granted asylum to 19 Cuban migrants on humanitarian grounds, and so the hope is that the remaining migrants would be granted the same asylum. When asked about whether other countries had been approached, Minister Mitchell explained that traditionally countries like the United States, Canada, and Sweden take on these types of migrant cases. However, Minister Mitchell said it seems none of those countries are available.
Well, this is a matter that is generally handled by the United Nations Human Rights Commission, so I can't say what they've been doing. They generally try to find a third country to take individuals who have no home, and I assume that they're working assiduously to do that.
Now to crime news. Police over in Abaco are questioning several persons about information on that double murder there yesterday. Detectives are investigating the discovery of 2 men whose bodies were reportedly found riddled with bullets in Abaco early Saturday morning. Officers tell us they were on routine mobile patrol near the SC Boodle High School when they discovered a man slumped over on the passenger side of a 2001 blue Maxima with gunshot wounds to the head. Assistant Police Commissioner for Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas, Emerick Seymour, confirmed to ZNS News that both bodies are presently in Nassau, with an autopsy to be performed soon. He's satisfied with the progress of their investigation and further mentioned that police met with the victims' families to offer their condolences and counseling. This is certainly a developing story that we will continue to follow. Back here in the capital, Mobile Division officers have arrested 16 people over the past 24 hours. That number includes a 21-year-old man of Knowleswood Drive and a 39-year-old man of Coleman Lane arrested for stealing. 3 men of Yellow Elder were questioned for armed robbery. A 79-year-old man of East Street was taken into custody for causing damage and threats of death. A 76-year-old man of Step Street was also nabbed by police for causing harm. 9 people were arrested for outstanding criminal warrants, and some 7 drivers were cited for committing various traffic violations. Drug Enforcement Unit officers were also busy this weekend as they arrested a 20-year-old man along with 2 18-year-old men for possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition this past Friday. Police say it was around 1 p.m. when Drug Enforcement Unit officers were tipped off before heading to Old Cedar Road in Yellow Elder, where they observed the 3 suspects acting suspiciously. The officers then searched the trio and found a handgun with a quantity of ammunition in their possession. Police confirmed that the suspects will appear in court early this week to face firearm-related charges. Well, the Police Staff Association is making final preparations for its elections tomorrow. 1,000 eligible members are expected to cast ballots for over 90 contenders who are vying for a place in the leadership of the association. That includes 5 inspectors, 29 corporals, 15 sergeants, and 48 constables. Polls will open between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the PSA's Bank Lane headquarters, as well as the police headquarters on East Street and the Kendall Geolysix Gym in Oaks Field. Polling stations will also be set up in the Family Islands. According to a PSA official, the first count will take place at 7 p.m. and at that time, only the branch and board members will be announced. Those members will then meet on Wednesday, January 22nd, to select the association's executives. Once that's done, the new executives will choose a new executive chairman. Well, some young men headed down the wrong path are being given a second chance thanks to an intervention program at the Carmichael Road Police Station. The initiative, tentatively named the Self-Control Program, was started in September by Assistant Superintendent of Police Mary Mitchell. Juveniles involved in minor incidents such as fighting and disorderly conduct participate in 6 weeks of community service instead of going through the court system, all with the aim of teaching them conflict resolution. Assistant Commissioner of Police Leon Bethel tells us more about the initiative and its goals.
Divine intervention is number one. Then the counseling from the big brother, big sister aspect of it, the social aspect of it, the visit to their homes to find out what's going on, visit the schools, find out from their homeroom teacher what is happening, what assistance that we can give to them, a total package for their development, and of course some wholesome sports activities so that these boys can get to work as a team. We're trying to create a team effort here, and then of course once that happens, conflict will be minimized and whatever, because once you operate as a team, if conflict comes in, there's a mechanism built in place where you can reduce it.
The initiative also falls in line with the Commissioner of Police's 2014 policing plan of working with young people. On Saturday, the second group of boys in the program mowed the police station's yard, painted, and received words of encouragement from Assistant Commissioner Bethel. He's confident such a program helps safeguard the nation's future.
This program is personal because this is our future. If we do not look after these youngsters, we could be looking at some serious problems later down in our years. So we want to safeguard our lives right now by trying to assist these boys, and that's what it's all about.
International Customs Day is celebrated around the world on January 26th, and here at home, customs officers officially kicked off their week of activities with a worship service at Evangelistic Temple this morning. The special day set aside by the World Customs Organization honors and recognizes the achievements of customs officers. Themed Communication Sharing Information for a Better Corporation, Minister of State for Finance, the Honorable Michael Halkitis, maintains that the Bahamas Customs and Excise Department is now in the process of educating its stakeholders on the revised laws and tax initiatives implemented last year.
Among these initiatives are the new Tariff Act, which provides for reduced rates on specified goods in accordance with the Economic Partnership Agreement, the Tobacco Tax Act, which involves the imposition of excise stamps to regulate and control the importation and manufacture of tobacco products, and the designation of excise officers and other connected matters. A new Customs Management Act, which includes the 4th and 5th schedules, which deal with the evaluation of goods and the rule of origin and the value-added tax initiative, which is scheduled to be implemented on 1st of July of this year. With the introduction of the VAT, the Customs Department will be responsible for the collection of duty and VAT at our borders, inclusive of goods imported as accompanied baggage.
During today's service, Senior Pastor Reverend Vaughn Cash referenced the important role customs officers play from a biblical perspective.
Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Is it right to pay taxes to the government of the Bahamas or not? Same thing. But Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, "You hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Show me the coin used for paying the tax." They brought him a denarius, and he asked them, "Whose portrait is this, and whose inscription?" "Caesar's," they replied. Then he said to them, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." Does Jesus Christ support paying taxes? Yes, he certainly does.
Well, still to come in the Bahamas tonight, thousands hit the pavement early this morning for Marathon Bahamas. We've got more on the race after this short break.